Welcome back, everybody, to the Top Agent Podcast. We are your co-hosts, Ryan Espey and Stacey Regula. And today, we are joined by Meig Burgess, a member of the eXp Icon team.
Welcome.
Thanks. Good morning.
Good morning, Meig. Now, we're going to get into a little bit about what that means, being a part of the eXp Icon team in a little bit. But let's start off right off the bat. Let's talk about life before you got into real estate. The career picture and anything you want to share from the past.
Sure. So I was right out of the gate. I never had any post-secondary education. I kind of jumped into working full-time in life, and I landed with some wonderful large companies that led me straight to working alongside real estate agents or home builders and whatnot. I worked for construction companies, and I met home builders with, what's the name, where the Habitat for Humanity and whatnot. So I learned about things that way. And then along my career path, I ended up working for a custom home builder here in Manitoba, where I again worked right alongside real estate agents. But before all of that, what led me to be literally beside real estate agents was my personal life, where my boyfriend's mother and sister were real estate agents. And I was always learning about the real estate world and hearing about it. And it always was something that fascinated me, but I never dove into. Fast forward all these years later, I was unfortunately unemployed during the pandemic. And it was just a matter of a shift in life with kids at home and whatnot. And I had this great opportunity presented to me by my sister-in-law, who works at eXp and is also a real estate agent of 18 years now. And she said, "Hey, Meig, I need you. I need your help. I need your expertise of all the, background that you have to come help me launch this wonderful program here in Canada at eXp." And I got to join my sister-in-law, Meig Burgess, at eXp with the new agent bootcamp program, which is an educational department here at eXp Canada. And then I worked alongside her for about 10 months. And then I had the opportunity given to me to apply for the position within the Icon team as the first Canadian staff member joining the eXp Icon team. So I started with them in January of this year.
Wow. So what does a day look like for you then with the Icon team?
Well, it's always very busy. I mean, everyone says that, but it's always very busy. It's an amazing machine of organization from literally the start of the month to the finish, because it's like a cycle every single month of us looking at icons, watching agents that are about to be qualified as icons. We track production, we track their numbers, we track all the reports and information that's given to us. And then alongside that, there's a huge part of Icon that's culture related. And that means that we have to help our agents become culture keepers as Icon agents, and they're given opportunities to participate in things to help earn them back their stock that they can earn back as Icon agents. So it's a whole huge cycle of production, culture, numbers, a lot of, it's customer service, a lot of emails, a lot of meetings like this, a lot of voice messages, a lot of just touching base with these agents and making sure that they can have a point of contact at all times and get all their answers as fast as we can get to them.
Yes.
That's just for Canada, right? Like you do just the Canadian.
No, I do oversee all of the Canadian agents for production and culture, but I also am working alongside the US team. Like we're all integrated, and I do help and assist with the American agents as well with the reporting, with the Zoho tickets. We use Zoho, our emails, customer service answers. I'm always helping the American agents as well as much as I can within the team. So,
wow.
I do have a question, because the people that are coming in here and they're listening to this maybe will be a little bit confused. So what does it mean for an agent to become an Icon?
So an Icon agent at eXp, they are the top earners within the company, and they are the people who are hitting production requirements to be considered an Icon. So I'll speak on the Canadian numbers first. So for Canadian agents, Any agent that starts, you have your capping year. So for Ryan, it's, I think, February 1st or January 1st to January 1st.
February 1st.
We have the same
February 1st.
Yeah.
So Ryan's capping year is February 1st, 2022 to February 1st, 2023. Within that year, he is able to hit the production requirements. You pay into the company dollar, $16,000, and then you pay cap fees of $5,700 Canadian. And once you've hit those two production levels, then we review you and confirm that your numbers match up and that you're an icon agent. And what that means initially is you've reached that tier, and then you immediately have the opportunities to earn back that $16K that you paid into the company dollar in stock. So there's a production stock award that's given back to the agents immediately, and then you have culture commitment opportunities and event attendance opportunities. So the way that eXp formats it, it's a really great opportunity for these agents to work hard, pay into the company, but then earn all of that back in stock.
That's a very good explanation, and probably one of the best ones I have heard. So you hit icon, you get your $8,000 back. You have an opportunity for the remaining $8,000 in event attendance and cultural requirements.
Correct.
Yes. Okay. Now, what did it mean for you to become on the icon team? Like, what exactly would your you just got back from Vegas.
Yeah.
So what was your role down there?
So as an icon team member in person, yeah, that's a very good question, because that's what everybody asks. Like, what do? You work from home. I'm a remote worker, so I'm literally sitting behind a computer all day long. And just before I talk about Vegas, it's a really neat shift, because working from home and working on a computer with my teammates who are spread out all across US, as well as obviously I'm in touch with all of my Canadian staff members too. It becomes very removed. And it's a lot of meetings like this, but going to Vegas meant that we as the icon team got to be there in person, meeting the icon agents that were able to attend and answer any in-person questions. We had a hospitality suite set up for the icons. It's at Shareholder Summit, which is another event we can talk about, and the eXp Con. So there's a mentor and icon suite, hospitality suite for all agents, Canadian, US, and the following global countries they're going to hopefully start attending in the future. And we're there to answer all the questions in person. We were checking on a lot of cultural commitment requirements, people making sure that they were finishing that to earn their stock. People were in their current icon year and hoping that we could check their numbers for them. How close am I to icon now? It's always just icons hit icon. There's so much excitement that happens, obviously. And then there's a lot of time in between there that they need to earn that stock back, or want to make sure they're doing all the right things to earn that stock back, or participate in what they need to participate in. So Vegas was very, very busy. It was amazing to see all the agents in person, face to face.
That's awesome. Do you want to touch base a bit on what the cultural requirements are? Because most real estate companies, well, I think we're the only one who actually has something like this. And I know right now I'm talking to agents looking at joining eXp, and they're like, what is a cultural requirement? What are you talking about?
Right. Yeah, that's a great question. So we call it the cultural commitment. So it's the opportunities to give back to eXp as those top earning agents. It's eXp asking you and giving you the opportunity to give back to the community, to provide your knowledge and to provide any guidance that you have. So for Canadian agents, our three options for cultural commitments, once you hit icon, is you can be a coach with New Agent Bootcamp, the program that I spoke of before. So that has you lined up with students, hopefully within your province, depending on your region and area. It's not always easy, but there's new agents coming onto eXp every day who are brand new agents or have like less than 4 deals when they're signing up. So they're automatically enrolled into this wonderful program called New Agent Bootcamp, which guides them through their first 12 weeks at eXp. It's kind of like a crash course in real estate, but a lot more in depth than what you would get by just, sitting in an office with someone. There's online courses, there's live courses, there's on-demand videos, and all of the compliance courses, of course, for Canadian agents as well. And then people like Ryan, who volunteer their time as a coach, as an icon or not as an icon, they're there to guide them through. So for your cultural commitment for that, you have to take on at least one student, guide them through their first 12 weeks at eXp, and help them graduate from new agent boot camp. So that's one of my favorite opportunities to push, because it's the only one the only Canadian one. It's not available in the US in that way. The other options are you can be instructor at eXp University as an icon. So that's teaching 6 classes within your icon benefit year. And the eXp University is a wonderful resource for agents. There's so many courses that happen every day. So they take icon agents and sign them up to teach live in eXp World. And so that's 6 courses within your 12 months of becoming an icon. And then the other opportunity is you can choose to be on Google Meets, which happen every day, or iConversations, which happen weekly, or monthly masterminds, which happen monthly. So it's 3 different opportunities under that umbrella. And you have to do 6 of those within your icon benefit year. So it's just ways that it's all recorded. It's always live things that the agents are just like this, either talking on Google Meets or live in the world. And it's recorded sessions that we at eXp keep and post on YouTube or in the back end for people to have as resources for themselves. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I love eXp World. When I'm having a slower week, I make a point of jumping on there and seeing what's available that day and taking at least, one class. It's like 30 minutes of your time. And I have a book I write down the things I learned from that class. And then that way, when I'm stressing, I can look back and be like, oh, I should do these things or try these things to help grow my business. So
yeah, that's awesome. A lot of inspiration out there.
Yeah, it's cool.
Now, I do have a question. Thinking back about all your exposures to real estate, if someone were to ask you, what is the difference between a traditional brokerage and what eXp does, what would you tell them? And this is like the elevator pitch that would convince somebody to make the jump over to eXp.
So I think from my view, pardon me, as a staff member and as well as seeing all of the agents that I know personally, know professionally within Manitoba, and then all of the agents that I've gotten to know and touch base with, is the same thing that I see is the freedom that it gives you as an agent financially sometimes. That's how I see it, is that the way that eXp is set up, we're online, everything's remote, everything's on the go. You can do your business anywhere, anytime, any place. And the cost is so much more minimal, if I'm correct, as your 2 are agents. Yeah. I know that personally firsthand from my sister-in-law, Nikki, but it's a great opportunity to grow your business, network your business in this world that we're living in, online, on the go, whether you're in Vegas or Winnipeg, Manitoba, or BC or Nova Scotia or all across the US. I see the connections that these agents can make and how they're growing their businesses from the back end. And it just blows my mind, the opportunities it gives agents. So that's my personal thought on it.
Those are good thoughts. The observation that I would make, having now watching the other companies, is they are kind of being forced to up their game in things like recognition of agents.
Yes.
Because before I would never see that. But eXp is kind of all over everything and doing an amazing job of that.
I think that's yeah. And I feel like that's working on the icon team has helped me realize after almost my first year at eXp, it was, oh, we're here and I'm able to see all these agents working so hard for this goal. And it's just one small part of their life. Hitting icon is the amazing part for them, but it's just one small part of all the hard work that they're putting in every single day for their business, for their families, for their lives, for whatever they're earning, to to expand in their life whatever way they want, whether it's more trips or more time off or more time with their family. For me, it's like, I can't wait every month. We're starting a new month right now. And I'm like, I can't wait to see how many Canadian agents I can get as icons, right? Like running the reports so that I can be able to tell them like, look, all your hard work's paid off and you're an icon and this is amazing. And there's so many opportunities now for you to grow and attract as well, right? As an icon agent. So it's really neat to see all that, because you don't see that, like you said, you don't see that with other places. I have lots of friends who are in real estate, not with eXp yet. And I look forward to when they come over to eXp, because it's such a great opportunity and such a huge platform to advertise yourself on. So
I know you're not a licensed agent, but you work with realtors all the time. Do you have any advice for realtors that are looking to become icon agents in eXp?
I always say so I would answer that based on the most commonly asked question. So I can only imagine how crazy it is being a real estate agent and especially joining a new company, right? So I think the biggest thing is making sure that as soon as you hear about eXp and as soon as you hear about the Icon program, to reach out to the Icon team or reach out to someone on your upline or your sponsor and say, hey, what is Icon? What does that mean? How do I earn that? Because there's a lot of things that get tossed around, like, oh, you just have to pay this much and hit this many deals and you're Icon. And it can be so different for everybody, because it is really the production requirements, but people get there differently. People running a business where they're splitting their commissions and splitting their sales, or I'm going to use all the wrong terms because I'm not a real estate agent. Whether you're a buyer or a seller, if you're splitting those, there's different ways that you're going to hit that $16K and hit that $5,700 as a Canadian agent. So we have so much information online. I would just say, reach out, ask all the questions you want, and learn how to log into Enterprise and watch your own business in the background, because everything's there. All of your information, you can literally track transaction by transaction and see where you're at with your own business. And I think that's one of the things, is that people don't log into their business profiles enough to see where they're at and what's going on until it's, too close to when they could be an icon. And then
they're not used to that, having that ability. Like I know it's recently been changed. I think it's like my eXp, right? And we can log in there. I was playing around with it the other day, and to me it's like mind-blowing technology, because I don't think a lot of us are getting that with a traditional brokerage. So the ability to just go online and take a look at all of your information.
Yeah. And I'd be happy to send you guys kind of like the links that I would hand out to any agent and say,
awesome.
Here's where you can track your business, and here's where you can see where you're at, and here's what you need to be doing, to hit those icon numbers.
Yeah, we could attach those with the video.
That would be great.
Yeah.
So we have a few questions to close this out, and they're deeply personal ones, Meg.
Okay.
What is the movie that you can watch over and over again and never get bored of? Your favorite of all time?
Oh, man. I watch so many movies. I love watching movies. Probably. Oh, okay. I'm going to give you two, because one's a trilogy and one's a standalone, and they're both older. I will always watch the Back to the Future movies.
Yes.
All the time, whether they're on TV or streaming or whatever. And I will always watch Pretty Woman.
Wow.
That's my sisters. My sisters and my favorite movie. We literally can sit there and just say the whole movie and be super annoying when Pretty Woman's on. So
that's awesome.
Excellent.
What is your favorite thing to do when you're not working?
I do a lot of different things. My favorite thing would probably be to get out of my house, because I'm here all day long and I love working from home, but I can't wait to get outside and get some fresh air. But my favorite thing in my off time is I go to a lot of live shows and support like local music here in Winnipeg. I have a lot of amazingly talented friends, so I go to a lot of live shows and venues and whatnot.
Shania Twain tickets tomorrow morning.
Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna buy those Shania Twain tickets. I'm holding out for the Nickelback tickets that are gonna be coming out later this month.
Those Shania Twain tickets are $100 a ticket for the nosebleeds, but yeah. So go ahead, Ryan.
What book has had the most influence on you?
Oh.
Now, this is a tough question for some people. Generally, realtors have read at least a few that have been sales related.
I read a lot of fiction. Let's see. What is the name of that book? I read it years ago. It's probably got a swear word in the title of it, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Oh, I know what it is.
Yeah, I know what it is too.
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a...
That's it. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a... Yeah, that is probably one of my favorite reads. I think I read that about 5 years ago. I read a lot of books, but that book, definitely, the older you get, the more you I mean, that's always kind of been my mentality, but it's definitely, yeah, I love that book. And I wish everyone would read that book.
The hardest question of the day. What is the single best piece of advice you've ever been given?
I think it was know your worth. So I think it's something that I've carried since I was a teenager, to know my worth, both personally and now professionally, because I just always try and carry myself in the way that whoever I want to work alongside with or spend my time outside of work alongside with is know your worth, so that the people that you're surrounding yourself with and the choices you're making are like benefiting you and them in the best way. So.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Well, that concludes our interrogation of you today, Meg.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, you guys.
We very much appreciate you coming on, and it's been amazing. So thanks everybody for watching. And Stacey and I will be back with another guest next week.